Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where it may be hard to believe, but Impact Wrestling could be interesting again. It's Lost in the Midcard. We are back from our summer vacation. We took a couple weeks off because we just really didn't want to talk about some of the negative stuff that had happened in the wrestling world. And then life got a little busy after that. So we just had an extended summer vacation. But we are back. We are going to talk a lot of things that happened this weekend, including Impact Wrestling. Yes, we are going to talk Impact Wrestling again. Slammiversary this weekend. We even are going to talk Impact on AXS, which we actually just finished watching before we started recording. And, of course, we got Extreme Rules to talk about Raw after that as well as the Wednesday night shows. So, a little bit of headlines. So we'll try to catch up as best we can. But first, thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, and any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard, hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Wednesday. Now that we're back, hopefully we're back to every Wednesday. And subscribing will let you know the best way of when a new episode comes your way. You can do that either with YouTube. Click that little bell icon. That'll notify you every time a new video comes your way. Or, just on the old podcast, you can do all that. And to do so, you can go to our links on Facebook, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. On our pin post there, or go to our pin tweet on Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we also share a lot of the great tweets from the wrestling world. We're also, on Spotify and all that too, so make sure to give us a little subscribe there. I am your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JB Huskers. As always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at Raw F Showtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, good to be back. How you doing?
I'm doing, man. I don't know how crazy 2020 has been, but we are to the point where I can sit here and tell you definitively that in the last 72 hours plus, that Impact's putting on a better wrestling product than the WWE. We are, man, I don't even know what to say.
We were excited going into Slammiversary. There was hype. We knew the 90-day no competes were up for a lot of people. There was hype, so we purposely set out to watch Slammiversary. And, and I can speak for both of us. We were pleasantly surprised at the product they gave us, all throughout the board, right?
The only issue I have with Impact as a product right now, and it's really just because everywhere else is on board of doing this right now, they need anywhere between 6 or 12 talents out at ringside to give us some kind of noise.
Yeah.
Because the silence is deafening, and they had a lot of really cool moments on both tonight's show and the pay-per-view that I feel would have felt so much more special with just some crowd noise in there. And man, if you don't want to put people out there, give me audio tracks or something. Pipe some audio in like every other wrestling company used to do in the last 20 years. I need something, you need
something like this.
Yes, if we can do it, Impact Wrestling can do it.
New toy on Lost in the Midcard. Let me try to not pull out.
We have a soundboard, ladies and gentlemen.
I got this thing on Black Friday probably 2 years ago, a while ago, the Elgato Stream Deck, because I was meaning to kind of stream video games a lot more often, and I just never really put it together, and I was looking up some stuff, and I saw It almost didn't work tonight because I thought I had to share my screen to get this to work so Matt could hear. I could probably still, it probably would still pick up the recording, but Matt wouldn't hear it. But luckily, I combed through the Zoom options and found share computer audio only. So now I was set up some keys tonight, or last night actually. I set up 5 keys, and we'll get some more clips as time goes on and add some more to it. If you want to hear any one-liners, tweet at us at LITMC Podcast or at Raw if Showtime or at JB Huskers. Tweet at us, see what you let us know what kind of sound bites you want to hear. Obviously, you got to have this one. Woo! Right? We got to have that one, Matt.
Yeah.
I got to have this one.
Dummy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all knew we were getting that.
You already heard the booze.
Yeah.
I might have to try to. I might edit this one. I might edit it and then kind of fade it off so it doesn't.
Yeah, if we can get a fade in on the end of that, I think that would be a lot better.
Yeah, and that's not going to be hard to do. I mean, I literally could do that in under a minute. Oh, the classic.
I need John Moxley saying it's such good shit.
Yeah.
I need that. I need Scott Hall's hey yo. And I need that. I need those kind of things. We need those for the show.
And the last one that I have yet to play of the 5.
Have I not heard this yet?
Shut up!
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You heard it pre-show.
Yeah,
but,
I heard it pre-show. I was like, wait a second. Did you hold one to for me to hear on first time with everybody else? Or yeah.
No. Yep. So I have 5 loaded here.
Woo! Shut up!
Oh, I can play more than one.
Okay, yeah.
So I can play Eli Drake while they're booing.
Oh my god.
I love
we're going to have fun with this going forward, and there's absolutely no doubt in my mind about that.
I love the end of this clip. Listen to the end of the boo. You can hear it. I think it's King, but listen to the end of this clip. No, maybe not. Maybe I cut it off.
I was going to say I didn't hear anything.
I might have cut that off when I edited it. But yeah, so
but yeah, if we can get a fade out on the boo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'll be great.
Yeah, I'll work on that tonight while I produce the show. No Daryl this week. He's been extremely busy with work, and so that's part of the reason why we haven't done a show. The other part was obviously all the allegations. We didn't really want to even talk about them.
Oh my God, no! Yeah, I don't even want to give them any merit right now.
No, we're not gonna discuss those at all either. So we just basically we usually take a summer vacation, but this was a longer one. But we had to come back this week because Slammiversary rocked our boat. And then we had, of course, FyterFest and Fight for the Fallen, 3 pay-per-view quality match weeks of AEW. So, it was a big week for wrestling, while we're still probably not gonna, I don't, it's getting worse before it gets better for the COVID. So, I mean,
yeah, unfortunately, man, 2020 sucks.
Yeah. I really don't know when we are gonna, be back to
normal. I mean, if anybody's curious as to why I'm not on video tonight, I'll just freaking tell you. My hair is a fucking disaster. Like, legitimately, I got it cut in March, and I have not been able to get it cut. I have not been able to get it cut since, with all this shit that's going on right now. And, like, I'm literally, like, I'm days away from just trying to shave some of it off myself. Like, I'm at that fucking point that I just want to fucking get rid of some of it, because in my mind, like, if I completely butcher it and fuck it up, I mean, I know it's gonna grow back.
Yeah.
But I really want to fucking get rid of it. And like at some point this week, I might just snap and get like enough, and I might just try to start chopping some of it off. Chopping some of it off myself.
You might have to just go buy the Sammy Callahan hat and wear that.
Oh, yeah. But I guess I could do the show with a hat on, but then it's a hat on and a headset.
Yeah.
And yeah, that would be uncomfortable as shit. So
So let's lead off the show with Impact Wrestling. God, when was the last time I said that?
when was the last time we discussed Impact Wrestling on Lost in the Midcard? That I can't even remember.
Are we going to make it weekly?
I don't see why not until they do some really stupid things that make us want to slam our heads into a wall again. But hell, WWE's been doing that for years, and we still cover those dipshits.
Yeah,
So
and Daryl usually can go later on Tuesdays, so we may have to watch Impact and then get on and record right after. Maybe we'll see how that works.
I mean, I'd be good with that if we get Daryl to agree with that. I would rather do that.
Half the time we would record and I'd have Impact pulled up on my computer. Usually everybody else would do the same, or if they have a TV nearby. I still use Spectrum cable, so I would just pull up the web TV app and pull up. I'd be probably about 30 minutes or 30 seconds behind, but better than nothing. But yeah, we may actually watch it and then record afterwards and see how it works. So the Rascals had an open challenge to kick things off. I bet everybody and their dog thought the Good Brothers were coming out. No. Another surprise, which was not a WWE surprise. It was a classic TNA surprise, Matt, the Motor City Machine Guns.
I thought that was a brilliant strategy on their part. You announced the Good Brothers Saturday night at midnight, or the Friday night at midnight. I'm always thinking pay-per-views on Sundays. Mm. But yeah, you announced them that night, so automatically you're like, all right, the Rascals have an open challenge. It's going to be answered by the Good Brothers. We already got that figured out. So you swerve everybody and you bring in the Machine Guns, and yeah, it was great. I heard rumblings that they were going to be there Saturday night, but I wasn't 100% sure. But yeah, it was good to see them. Minimal ring rust on Sabin, it looked like to me. I mean, he had a little bit of issues once or twice, but I thought he looked great. I hope to God both of these guys can stay healthy and have a nice long run to round out their careers in Impact, because man, they fucking deserve it, man. They both of those guys have had a really rough go of the last 5 years or so, and they deserve to go out on their own terms and not out on a damn stretcher.
Yeah, and I thought Sabin was done for good, so I was highly surprised to see Machine Guns back. That was one of the groups I met in Dallas. I got to talk with them guys for a little bit when you and I went to Supercard of Honor 4 years ago now. Believe that was 4 years ago already.
Time, man.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, I basically paid for everybody but Cheeseburger and Roderick Strong. I don't know. I was running out of money at that point, man. I couldn't see them all, but I saw a lot of people that day. Machine Guns got the win there. TNA champion Moose. What do you think about this whole Moose fake title thing?
I think it's funny. Honestly, when it started, I thought this was I thought it was leading to Moose and Tesla were gonna have a match to merge the championships or something.
Yeah.
I thought it was something that was being done for while Tesla was in Mexico, that they would have a quote unquote main championship on their program. So when they came back, that they were gonna do that, but clearly that didn't happen.
So this wasn't the belt that Tessa had, was it?
Tessa had the Impact.
Had the
title.
red one. Okay.
But I mean, I still thought that that's what that's what they were gonna do.
Yeah.
But yeah, clearly they went in a different direction.
And clearly they're not going that champion. They're not merging these either. So maybe this is a secondary belt. I mean, X Division's always been secondary, but it's not like a true secondary. It's more of a cruiserweight belt, even though there's no weight limit. Does that sound about right, Matt? On how you would say the X Division belt is?
Yeah, for the most part.
It is a secondary title, but it's more of a It's more of
you
a
can't call it a cruiserweight title just based on the people that have held it over the history of the
no.
championship. I mean,
It's kind of
yeah,
it's
it's
kind of
their
it's in between that and the Intercontinental. It's kind of in between.
yeah, it's an intercontinental. It's the United States. It's a TV title. It's a TNT championship. I mean, it's along. I placed it along those lines.
Yeah. So Moose and Tommy Dreamer. I liked the end of it too. Like there was some good stuff there with it being old school rules. I loved Dreamer's Moose Sucks Egg shirt, a nod to Terry Funk. Yo, egg sucking dog. Of course, originally back in I don't even when 70s, I'd say, or maybe early 80s, Funker had that shirt that says Dusty sucks eggs. So that was where that came from. So Moose got the win there. We had a gauntlet match to determine the number one contender for the Knockouts Championship. The women in that match included Madison Rain, Kimberly, Rosemary, Nevaeh, Susie, Kiera Hogan, Taya Valkyrie, Tasha Steeles, Alicia Edwards, Kylie Ray, Jessica Havoc. I thought this was a pretty fun match, Matt.
It was something.
Outside of the Santina Morella instances
the
with
Johnny Bravo spots.
Yeah. I don't think we needed those, but
I get what they were going for. But
with the story between him and Ty and Rosemary, which I don't know too much about, but thankfully on pay-per-views they typically catch you up on stuff like that. So Kylie Ray gets the win. I don't really have an expectation of who was going to win this. I figured not Taya because she held that belt for so long. So I really didn't have an expectation. So I guess it wasn't too surprising that Kylie got the win here, right?
I was kind of hoping it wasn't going to be her, but yeah, she won, which to me kind of telegraphed the Knockouts title match later on in the evening.
Yeah.
Because there was no reason to do, Kylie Ray and Jordan Grace. I mean, I guess you could do it, but the whole babyface heel dynamic, in professional wrestling, like I felt like as soon as Kylie Ray won, I'm like, all right, well, Deonna's definitely winning the title tonight. I mean, they surely didn't disappoint. The Knockouts title match was probably my favorite thing on the show. But still, like I felt like I knew who was going to win before the bell rang because of the gauntlet match. I rather somebody else would have won that.
Yeah, Deonna showing NXT and WWE that she can go, and she's champion now. So Heath Miller jumps the guardrail and offered to take on the Rascals Open Challenge, but that had already happened. Then offered to be the mystery guy in the main event because it was a four-way with three guys known and a mystery opponent to be announced. And then Rohit Raju came out as he's going to be the one that gets beat up by Heath Miller. And he took care of him pretty quickly. X Division Championship, Willie Mack and Chris Bay. Not really a surprise to me that Bay won this, right?
Yeah, I think I was a little more surprised that they immediately hot-shotted the rematch and did it as quickly as they did tonight than I was about the title change on Saturday. I feel like Willie Mack could be Impact World Champion if they wanted him to be. So
Yeah.
I felt that what they did to him tonight really wasn't needed. I don't think they needed to have that rematch. I think they could have just let Matt go on and chase something else for now and build up to a match with Eddie.
Impact doesn't do the automatic rematch much, do they?
I don't know. I feel like every company does it way too much, and even WWE, who claims they don't do it anymore, still fucking does it.
Yeah.
So I wish more companies would just drop it altogether. Like I don't feel it's necessary in 2020. It's time to reinvent the wheel, so to speak.
Of course, Chris Bay was a guy that Cody had wanted. Impact ended up getting him literally the next week after Cody had sent that tweet. So probably wasn't too much of a surprise that Bey was going to be an X Division champion fairly quickly in the company. Heath Slater Rhino reunion backstage. D'Amore shows up and says there's a lot of
more that asshole.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities, but you don't work here, and due to social distancing, you have to go. And then poor Rhino was too busy about his side bet with Hernandez to pick up the phone tonight, huh?
They'll pay for it.
The North has been tag champs for over a year now. And they took on Ken Shamrock, Sami Callihan. I don't think anybody expected the North to lose to those guys.
No, that would have been pretty weird.
The Machine Guns came out after the match and said, "Hey, we got a title match on Impact on AXS in a couple of days." So already a big match there. Gia Miller was backstage going to try to interview the Good Brothers, but she ended up talking to Rich Swann, who said he was here to support Willie Mack, still on crutches from his devastating knee injury. Says once he's cleared to return, his eyes are on the Impact Championship. So Rich Swann teasing something, but we did not realize it was going to be a tease for later tonight, did we?
We did not. I kind of wish he would have won, quite frankly.
Won the title?
Yes.
Yeah. Then we got the good match between Jordan Grace and Deonna Purrazzo. That was a hell of a match. I didn't know if Deonna was going to win this, to be honest, but
I wasn't sure until Ray won their little Royal Rumble gimmick.
Yeah.
To me that telegraphed the finish here. But it still didn't take away from the fact that, like I said, I think this is the best match on the show.
Yeah. And then the main event, Ace Austin, Eddie Edwards, and Trey Miguel already announced mystery competitor. They were building up Ace Austin as if he was they literally said it too on the pay-per-view. He's the next AJ Styles. I'm not quite buying.
I don't see that at all.
Yeah, I mean, we've been calling
Dollar Store Matt Taven. Yes, and I'm going to continue to call him the Dollar Store Matt Taven because he's done nothing to make me believe otherwise.
If there's a guy that might be the next AJ Styles, it might have been another guy in that match in Trey, who has impressed a lot of people lately.
Yeah, maybe.
And
I mean, the years away from knowing for sure.
Yeah.
But I would if I was forced to give that nod to either Trey or Ace Austin, I'm giving it to Trey.
Yeah. The mystery competitor was to be announced, and out comes Rich Swann in his on his crutches, and then he throws his crutches aside, and he's cleared. He's the fourth man. But wait a minute, there's more. A fifth man is going to enter the match. It's none other than the world-class maniac, Eric Young, returning to Impact. I mean, we pretty much got these predictions across the board. I know I predicted Slater to come to Impact. Made sense for Eric Young to come to Impact. Good Brothers.
To me, there was nowhere else for Eric Young to go.
No.
It was either Impact or retire.
And Good Brothers, we probably expected AEW, and then they show up on Being the Elite this week. So, wait, that was a flashback to 2016.
God. Well, if you listened to the Talking Shop podcast Friday night at midnight, you kind of understand why the Good Brothers ended up in Impact instead of AEW now.
I did not catch it, so fill me in, please.
Well, essentially, the entire 2019 leading up to the Dynamite on October 2nd that me and Daryl went to in DC, the entire plan going in was that the end of the show was going to have Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows coming out to run off, Jericho and stuff and save the Bucks and Kenny, and then they were going to attack him from behind and join the Inner Circle.
Yeah.
And that was going to be like their big storyline to end the first Dynamite. So like Tony Khan and everybody were under the impression for months that they were coming in, and then they went and signed those those massive deals with WWE because they couldn't fucking turn down the money.
Well, I don't blame them either.
And they pissed some people in AEW off. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah,
it's a 2-hour podcast. I highly recommend going out of your way to listen to it. It's conducted by Ryan Satin of Pro Wrestling Sheet, and it's very eye-opening and insightful, and really goes into the process of everything that's happened to those guys over the last couple of years. So I think Gallows and Anderson have recorded a talking shop with the Bucks that'll probably be out sometime in the next couple of weeks. I'm very interested in hearing that. So,
Woo!
Exactly, Rick. Exactly.
Yeah, I know Jericho has said that the Good Brothers were his first choice for Inner Circle. I'll tell you what, though, the backup plan of LAX was not a bad thing, was it?
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah. I forget it's mirrored, but that dude sold the orange juice very well on Wednesday. That was hilarious what Ortiz did.
It was giving me Vince McMahon beer truck vibes.
Did you hear about that?
When Vince was flopping in the beer like he was trying to swim, like that's exactly what Ortiz was reminding me of.
Did you hear what Jericho said?
Said he wanted to have
an orange juice truck.
An orange juice truck, yeah.
Vince is like,
shut up!
So main event, what'd you think of Eric Young joining the fray for this? I mean, obviously he was a top player in Impact, so I don't think it's that far of a reach to have him in that match.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be fair. He's been off TV for, granted, maybe he was on WWE TV maybe once or twice in the last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like WWE even really had the chance to ruin Eric Young.
Yeah.
Because they didn't really use him to begin with. And he had a solid run in NXT. So
Sanity was great. They cut that one short.
So, I mean, yeah, I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it was fine.
Trey was eliminated.
They had to have him there if they weren't going to do the EC3 thing.
Yeah.
Because they promised the former world champion.
Yeah.
And I don't think people would have been happy with just the EC3 video spot at the end. So they had to have Eric Young there. They couldn't have put Heath in that spot. They couldn't have put Kurt Hawkins in that spot. They had to have legitimately a former Impact TNA world champion in that position. So
yeah, and Eric Young, is he a 2-time champion?
He might be. I'm not 100% sure, but he might be.
Of course, when he won the world title for the first time, we were making fun of it because it was almost a direct copy of the Daniel Bryan storyline. Just once. Just the one run.
I'm kind of surprised by that.
He was the 4th ever Grand Slam champion, which would include the X Division, the tag, and what else? King of the Mountain?
God, King of the Mountain.
Would that be the Grand Slam? He was the 7th Triple Crown winner in history.
Well, I mean, technically, didn't he hold the women's tag team titles with ODB? I mean, I guess that counts as Grand Slam. I don't know.
Yeah, the Legends Championship.
Yeah, there you go. The Legends title. Yeah, they've had a bunch of titles over the years that ended up being retired.
Yeah, there was the Legends Championship is the King of the Mountain Championship. So it just renamed, and same with the Global or Television. So that's part of the Grand Slam. So that would be NWA World Tag Team, I guess, counts in that too. Oddly enough.
Maybe.
The big story on this match was when Rich Swann rolls up EY and eliminates him, and then EY just goes absolutely nuts. I kind of liked it because it sets up a feud. Swann will probably be back in a couple of weeks or a month, and sets up a feud between those two. So I kind of liked what EY did after getting eliminated, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, it would explain why Rich Swann didn't win.
Yeah.
But I still wish Swann would have won.
Yeah, Swann fought pretty well after getting the shit beat out of him, but he was eliminated. It was down to Eddie Edwards and Ace Austin, who I figured would be the last two in the match anyways. As much as they were, I mean, even if you hadn't been watching Impact, just watching all the video clips and stuff leading up to Slammiversary, you could see how much they're putting behind Ace Austin right now. So I almost thought Ace Austin was going to win this going into the match and even going down to the final two with Eddie Edwards. But I like Eddie. It was a big deal when he won it against Lashley in 2016 for the first time. So he hasn't held this title since 2016. So
I haven't really enjoyed the evolution of his character.
Yeah.
So that's why I guess I wasn't like over the moon thrilled when he won. But when it came down to him or Ace Austin, I wanted him to win. So
yeah, that much is true.
Yeah.
Madman Fulton attacks Eddie from behind after Ace Austin got pinned, and coming up for the save, the Good Brothers. And I'm reading PW Insider, Mike Johnson's report, called him Luke Gallows. Oops. So you can't, I guess WWE must have Luke Gallows because I guess he was Doc Gallows in New Japan, right?
Yeah, they were referring to him on Impact tonight as the big LG and Luke, the big LG Doc Gallows.
And so the Good Brothers celebrate with Edwards with some beers afterwards, and then we get a EC3 video to end things. And those EC3 videos have been tremendous, haven't they?
Yeah, between that narrative video and the Good Brothers thing Friday night at midnight, I had some good wrestling content going into the weekend that I very much appreciated.
Look what I'm rocking there tonight.
Uh-oh.
The OGBC. I'm rocking that one out tonight. Speaking of Bullet Club, what do you think of New Japan's latest big things? Like, Evil's now the leader of Bullet Club, is that right?
Evil. I mean, I guess it's at least what we're assuming right now. I mean, I don't think they've come out and said that Evil's running Bullet Club. I mean, I know the Young Bucks didn't be in the Elite this week.
Yeah.
But I don't know if anybody in New Japan has come out and stated that Evil's the new leader.
And he's the world champion now, right?
He's double champ. He beat Naito for both titles. So he's got both of them right now.
Rick likes it. So it's good to see New Japan getting back into action after COVID. Of course, the rest of the world is basically, I mean, shit, there's concerts. There are going to be indoor concerts going on in Europe here next month. And while our president fiddle fucked around, and we're going to be a long way from anything like that.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, here's our president's theme song. But yeah, I mean, Slammiversary, well worth it, man. A lot of eyes were on it, and I think they pretty much delivered.
Yeah, can't argue.
And then Impact tonight, right before we recorded here on Tuesday, they had kicked it off with EC3 asking the audience if they were going to be subservient to what is fed to them, or are they going to fight back find enlightenment and control their narrative. And EC3 says he's living in the moment and the audience has been warned. New opening theme and song for Impact on AXS. Josh Matthews and Madison Rayne on commentary. Rematch between Chris Bay and Willie Mack, with Chris Bay getting the win there.
I really don't understand why Callis. It's not Callis
and
Matthews. Like, I definitely enjoyed the commentary on Saturday more than I enjoyed the commentary tonight. Like, I don't like Josh Matthews, period. But Don Callis makes him tolerable, and for me, I'm just meh. I'm very meh on him and Madison Rayne together.
I was so tired of him tooting the Impact horn just because they got some WWE guys and saying, "Oh, we've been trending worldwide all night long." You know, I was just getting tired of him saying that shit.
He's not a good commentator.
Yeah.
He does a lot of other things that are important for that company behind the scenes, and I respect the hell out of him for it. But, like, to me, his place shouldn't be in the booth. Like, honestly, I'd rather have Callis and Madison Rayne doing commentary than Josh Matthews being there. So
Callis could probably do play-by-play.
Yeah, I'm sure he could.
Yeah, there's many times where I'm like, God, shut up, douche Matthews.
Yeah, he's just not good. He's just not good.
I'm still going to call him douche Matthews, even though we're talking Impact again.
That's fine. I don't think anybody's going to argue with you.
The Good Brothers come out. Anderson and Gallows. And talking about how they're happy to be at Impact Wrestling and all that good shit. And talking about how their T-shirts sold out immediately on Shop Impact or whatever you call that now. So they don't even need a Too Sweet anymore, but they'll crack some beers open. But then they were interrupted by Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. They were looking for an apology from Slammiversary, didn't get it, and the Good Brothers, kicked him out of the ring basically. Heath Miller backstage trying to get in. Security won't let him in because he's not on the list. Okay, he doesn't. Poor man doesn't have a last name. Maybe if he had a last name, he would have been on the list, Matt.
Ouch.
So that won't be the last we see of Heath, though. That was kind of funny. He tried to call Rhino to get in, but Rhino was arguing with Hernandez when his phone went off about something about the money. I don't know what the deal is with that. Something I missed, I guess. So they're going to fight for the money that they each have a half of the money, and they're going to fight for who gets it all, I guess. I don't know. I don't quite understand all of that, but Bay celebrating his win, and Rohit Raju showed up and said that he might be the guy that can watch his back, and Bay might have agreed because I guess Bay was with Johnny Swinger, which I don't quite know the backstory about all that. But so maybe Raju might be the guy to watch his back from now on. I don't know. Tag match: Kiera Hogan, Tasha Steelz took on Havoc and Nevaeh. Ended up in a DQ. Again, I've not been watching Impact, but apparently these four women have been in a heated rivalry. So, Impact Plus flashback showing Eddie Edwards beating Bobby Lashley for the world title in 2016, his first and only at that point. Shamrock and Sami Callihan had a conversation. Callihan blaming their loss on Shamrock, and Shamrock admitted that it was his fault. And then we got Rob Van Dam and Katie. What's her last name?
Katie Forbes.
Forbes, yeah. Talking about how she was wearing clothes to piss off the fans, but realized that she missed being naked. So you can go see her photos next week for free or something like that. I don't know. But hey, RVD's back, so that's good, right?
Yeah, he's looking old.
Yeah, he is. Rhino beat Hernandez very quickly.
Very blinking, you missed it quickly.
Yeah. Deonna Purrazzo interviewed by GM Miller, and Kylie Ray showed up to introduce herself. And boy, Kylie, you don't extend your hand to Deonna Purrazzo, do you?
He's so damn dumb.
Eddie Edwards is basically saying he's going to issue an open challenge every week. That sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it, Matt?
Everybody's doing the open challenge gimmick.
Seth Rollins was doing it a lot when he was champ. Cody's doing it now, and Eddie, and then Eric Young came out and talked some shit. I wonder if it's going to be Edwards and Young at Bound for Glory.
Man, I don't know. It's too far off to speculate. I would hope for a bigger match than that, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Gia asks Moose if he'll have an open challenge every week, and he said that was a dumb question. His is by invitation only. And so his invitation was to Falaba. And he took care of him pretty quick. But then EC3 came out and laid out Moose. So it's good to see EC3. He looks menacing, doesn't he?
Ready to go.
He's an angry man. The Good Brothers
were in
were
the WWE for the last several years, and used the way he was, you'd be angry too.
Yeah.
Dummy. Yeah.
Yeah. The Good Brothers outside leaving the arena, and Ace Austin and Madman Fulton pulled up and talked shit, and then Reno Scum attacked from the back, which will set up next week Good Brothers in-ring debut against Reno Scum. It's shaping up to be a good Impact next week, isn't it, Matt?
That should be good shit, pal.
Kylie Ray and Deonna Purrazzo's next week, right?
Is it next week? I don't know if that's next week. It
I know
might be.
Eddie Edwards and Trey is next week. Yeah, I'm not sure if the Kylie Ray match is next week or not, but I know Eddie Edwards and Trey is next week. So at least we know of two good matches that are going to be on the card for next week. The whole Wrestle House thing with Rosemary, and I guess that just they've been doing that weird shit for a while, haven't they?
Yeah.
And they're just going to continue some more. I don't know about all that, but I guess it's something different, right?
I suppose.
And hell of a main event we got, Matt, wasn't it?
I think we were all expecting it to be.
Yeah.
So.
Great tag match between the North and the Motor City Machine Guns. And Motor City Machine Guns are tag champions once again. I don't know how long it's been since they've been tag champs, but Jimmy Jacobs at the end of the show. Jimmy Jacobs is leaving the arena, and a foot stops the door. I thought it might have been another surprise, but I kind of was glad of who it was because Heath sneaks in. Heath sneaks in the back door when somebody else was leaving. I thought that was a pretty funny way to end that, wasn't it?
I love Heath, man. I have a lot of hope that he's going to do some great things in Impact. So,
yeah, I think so too. And I mean, people have had so much respect for him over the years. You know, it's finally good to see that he's going to get his due. I am looking at, oh my God, some of these teams that have won the title since last time Machine Guns held it. Woo! July 11th, 2010.
It's been a minute.
They're only a one-time tag champ? I'm amazed at that.
Oh, they got to be at least 2-time now.
Well, now they're 2-time, yeah.
That does seem a little weird. Like that does seem weird that they only held them one time. Are you sure?
Looking at it right now. I went to the Machine Guns page 2 times.
That's weird.
Yep.
It feels like a missed opportunity for Impact back then.
Yeah, I thought they were in Impact a lot more than that. I was going through some of the teams that have won it in between. I go across. Remember the Bromans?
Oh God.
Oh, and of course the Wolves won it a lot. And you got your Beer Money. Then you had your Decay, Broken Hardys. LAX, the new LAX. Lucha Bros had a run with them. Yeah, in the North went about 383 days as your tag team champions. So good shit, pal. Speaking of not good shit,
Shut up!
it's the horror show, Matt.
Oh God.
I
don't even want to talk about
it. Tag team table match was pretty good though. Opening.
Yes, the opening match was the best thing on the show.
And Nakamura and Cesaro definitely deserve to hold those belts. New Day doesn't really need them. I think now is the time to finally do a singles push with Big E, in my opinion.
Nah, New Day is going to get them back.
Shut up!
Dude, you know that they're doing that. They're stacking New Day's title wins to beat the Dudleys.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, that's the only reason Nakamura and Cesaro won them was so New Day could win them back in a few months. Prove me wrong, Vince.
Bailey and Nikki Cross ended with using the Nikki's or Boss's rings as brass knucks. Yet they're like probably $2 cheap things, but we got to pretend they're brass knucks, and that's how Bailey got the win. As soon as Bailey got the win, I knew Sasha was walking out with the title. Didn't realize it was going to be that stupid of an ending, Matt. But once Bailey won, I knew the narrative of Bailey versus Sasha at SummerSlam was going to be not going to happen. I think it's because it's one of the few things that is getting positive reviews in the WWE right now is the heel work of Bailey and Sasha. I think that's what's kept the WWE from having them face each other. And that's why they're on every show, even NXT from time to time. Do you agree with that?
Kinda.
Because you're right. You're on the same page, right? That it was almost for certain it was going to be Bailey and Sasha.
I mean, that's what everybody thought, but I mean, we're coming up so close to it now. I don't think it's going to be any more.
No, not once. Now that they have all the belts, no. Stupid stipulation, but eye for an eye match. I thought Mysterio and Rollins. It was to me. I thought it was the best match of the night. I even though the stipulation leading into it was stupid, I did like how the psychology of the match with this how it played out. I liked it. I thought the end was pretty good where Rollins got sick at what he did. I kind of liked all that, Matt. I don't think you did, but
I thought it was awful.
It was better than what we thought we were going to get.
Well, I hear they filmed footage of a Rey Mysterio holding a fake eyeball in his hands and chose not to use it.
Apparently,
and that's why Rollins puked.
Apparently, that footage, what aired, people still saw a slight little. They saw a slight little angle of Rey holding the eye. But of course, Rey's magically going to be okay. So.
Yeah.
Basically, they played this off to be safe, like, oh, this is a way to write Rey off. But it was the same eye. If they would have done the other eye, that could have been the easy way to write him off. It was the same eye, and they're saying it didn't really damage him. So, I don't know. So I'm assuming Rey's probably re-signing with the WWE. Just my guess.
I hope he doesn't, but yeah, he probably will.
I think for Dominic's sake, I think he's going to do it to tag with him. But we'll see. Extra footage from Undertaker's last ride aired after the pay-per-view. I did not watch. I haven't watched the rest of the last ride yet. But did you watch the extra stuff?
Do you mean the Tales from the Dead Man?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it just to cleanse my palate of that shitty pay-per-view.
Was it pretty good?
Yeah, it was fun. Think WWE story time, but all Undertaker stories.
Yeah. I heard
That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah, I think I've only watched the first two last rides, so eventually I need to binge the rest of those and get those watched. And next up, Asuka Sasha Banks, very good match until the end, where Asuka accidentally gets missed in the eyes of the referee, and then Bayley puts the referee shirt on, and that makes Sasha the winner. Okay. Yeah.
Shut up!
That's probably what Vince is saying to all of us that are pissed about that, huh? Drew McIntyre, Dolph Ziggler for the Raw WWE title. And the stipulation is it is an Extreme Rules match for only Dolph, and McIntyre will get disqualified for any of the so basically rules stacked for Dolph to win, and he still couldn't win. And yet we're getting another match next week. I thought this was a SummerSlam match but it's next week on Raw where Drew picks the stipulation. But I thought this was for SummerSlam.
No, thank God, no.
I think the obvious answer is going to be Drew Orton, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I watched Raw last night, I thought that was for SummerSlam, and I'm like, oh, what? Okay. The Swamp fight, I thought it was what it was, a cinematic match. I thought it was entertaining. It wasn't the best effort, but I thought it was cool. I thought Alexa Bliss being Sister Abigail after Braun got bit by the snake, I thought that was kind of cool. I didn't hate it, Matt.
I didn't love it either.
Yeah. I was 3 sheets to the wind when I watched this, so that's probably why I'm a lot more positive.
I think that probably has a lot to do with it. I really do.
I watched this at I think it ended at 5 a.m, and I had been drinking. I was out doing my part-time job, and then went out and did some karaoke afterwards. So yeah, I had a couple drinks after that too. So maybe that's why I was not as negative on it.
Hell of a photo that Tommy Dreamer just tweeted out.
Oh, let me pull up Tommy here.
I think you'll appreciate it. I retweeted on Lost in the Midcard already. So.
Oh, hey. Oh, some middle fingers even. I like EC3's middle finger. You know what? I'm going to try something, Matt. Maybe not. I was going to try sharing my desktop for the video podcast, but I have to stop what I'm sharing now and then reshare it. And
yeah, you don't want to fuck with that.
No, I already got this working with Ric Flair with us. So, the only guy not flipping anybody off is Carl Anderson because he's holding his dick.
Yeah.
Go to LITMC podcast and check out the photo. EC3 Hawkins. They did a vignette on
Hawkins tonight. Yeah.
Brian Myers. I guess we're gonna have to call him probably.
Yep. He tweeted out, "Well, at Vince McMahon, I'm sorry, I love you, super kick at Impact Wrestling. Let's go."
Yeah.
Which is funny because Zack Ryder, Matt Cardona retweeted it and said, "Bro, what's with the mask? It looks cool, but the new figs we just showed last week are outdated now. I love those guys.
I thought Hawkins would go to AEW, but it makes sense because he wouldn't be tagging with Ryder. Ryder's already said as much that the tag team is done. I think Ryder or Cardona, I think he's going to be the open challenge.
I don't think he's going to be the one tomorrow. I think it's going to be Warhorse.
Yeah, that's
because Arn teased that last week on the road to Fight for the Fallen. I think,
we're jumping ahead a little bit, but boy, we're getting Four Horsemen vibes. I mean, how many times did they show Tully during that Cody match?
It's so obvious that
Cody going.
It's going to be Cody, FTR, and either Spears or Adam Page or
Omega
or someone, or maybe even Omega.
Omega being heelish.
Yeah, they're going to do some kind of Four Horsemen faction in AEW by the end of the year, because what they're doing with that Cody thing right now every week, where he's helping his opponent up after the match and he's shaking their hand and shit. There's going to be one of these matches where he's going to help the opponent up, and instead of shaking his hand, he's going to fucking deck him.
And I thought that was going to. I thought he was going to do that. I thought he was going to do that this week.
Yeah, he's going to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And honestly, who they should do? They should do it with Cardona.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're best friends in real life.
Yep, exactly.
Say,
and have the Young Bucks come out and save Cardona or something like that. And that's what they should do.
Yeah.
So
hold on a sec. Cho sent me a couple things. All right, let's see what he's got for us here.
Oh, God.
Got the phone up here.
This is such good shit.
You hear that?
Yeah, I heard it.
It's the
This is such good shit. This is such good shit.
Oh wait, both of those are the same clip. Oh. Thanks, Joe. I thought Joe sent me two clips, but they're both the same thing.
Probably double sent it by accident.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna have a whole bunch of new sounds by next week. You know he's gonna gather crap.
Yeah, and the cool thing is I'm not limited to 15 because I could just literally change the 15 that are showing up here. The Stream Deck is amazing, and it was like $150. Then Black Friday was like $100, and so I jumped on it thinking I would use it when I stream video games. And now I'm actually getting to, now that I finally got off my ass and got a green screen, good camera and that, so I might be doing more video game stuff again. Maybe on Twitch, maybe on YouTube. I'm thinking Twitch because it's kind of the easiest way to make money. But stay tuned on that. If you're a video game fan, I'll give the details out maybe sometime. Once I did one test stream. I played some Tecmo Bowl, Matt, some Tecmo Super Bowl. If you remember that game. Oh, that photo, Tommy Dreamer's great.
It's a new age in wrestling right now, man. I feel like the next 2 to 3 weeks are going to be very interesting.
I mean, we're talking about Impact Wrestling again. How many times we started and stopped doing that in the 5.5 years we've done this show?
Craziness.
Monday Night Raw. I'll tell you what, though, SmackDown leading up to Extreme Rules was pretty good. Coming up on like one of the worst SmackDowns the week before that. Raw this week was okay. I thought Rollins and Black was a good match. The beatdown, Seth's beatdown of I like this what Seth has been doing. He's been doing a great job as a heel, and post match attack on working on the arm of Black. So maybe we're going to write Black off for a few weeks. I liked that. I like the Hurt Business, the MVPs group. Shelton Benjamin pinned R-Truth. It's kind of funny how the biggest star in the group is the only one without a belt
For now.
for now. But I like
technically MVP doesn't really have a belt either.
True. It's like Moose.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that group. Don't you?
No, I like the group, and I feel like they're leading everybody to believe that Cedric Alexander is going to be the person to join them, and I feel they're going to swerve and they're going to put Ricochet in there instead.
That'd be cool.
Ricochet's
a heel.
Yeah, well, they need to do something with him right now. So, but yeah, I feel like they want everybody to believe that Cedric's going to turn on Ricochet, and I think it's gonna be the other way around.
And R-Truth just continues to entertain us.
Have you watched his game show?
Not yet.
Oh my god,
it's a good shit, pal.
I think you'll laugh.
Okay.
If it doesn't entertain you, I don't.
Well, if it involves Truth, I will probably laugh because he's fucking hilarious.
I've only seen one episode. It was the episode with Alexa Bliss and Sheamus. And it was pretty fucking funny. So,
the Hurt Business took on Cedric Alexander, Ricochet, and a mystery partner, and finally, Mustafa Ali returns to the WWE.
The Hacker returns.
Oh wait, we forgot about that storyline.
Shut up! We never forget about your shitty storylines that you never pay off, Vince. Shut up!
You like the soundboard, huh?
Yes, I do. I've been telling you, I've wanted a soundboard on the show for years. And once we get a whole bunch of audio clips on that thing, that's going to be great.
Yeah, once I learned that I could do this with the Stream Deck, I was pretty happy. Woo! The Hurt Business got
happy as Ric Flair at a bar.
Yeah. The Hurt Business gets beat. A much deserved and needed win for Cedric and Ricochet, plus Mustafa Ali coming back. So it obviously made zero sense to have them lose with Mustafa coming back. But a good 6-man tag. I mean, this was a good match. I guess Raw wasn't that bad, as bad as we thought, you know. But
I mean, Raw was better than Extreme Rules. I don't know if that's saying much.
Next we got Sheamus and Jeff Hardy in a bar fight Friday. That might actually be all right, you know. The whole bar thing on SmackDown to end that a few weeks ago, that was stupid, but with the bar in the ring and Sheamus via satellite, but I don't know. They interviewed Christian ahead of the unsanctioned match between Orton and Big Show, which they pulled off the pay-per-view because they wanted to try to boost the Raw ratings. And oh man, it did pretty bad. The ratings were like, what was it? I DM'd you guys this. I think it was like the worst quarter hour in 27 years.
What can you do?
Orton versus
a better product.
Orton versus Show did a 0.42 in 18-49. This is staggeringly bad, putting it into perspective. This is according from Dave Meltzer, who tweeted this out. Worst quarter performance in the 27-year history of the show for a bout that was promoted for weeks.
Shut up!
Oh, Vince. Maybe it's not
the... Book a better product, and maybe it won't happen.
Yeah. Ruby Riott gets her first singles win in forever, beating Peyton Royce. February 11th, 2019 was her last singles win. How about the Street Profits jumping Garza and Andrade? All these baby faces doing heel things this week, Matt. What's going on?
I got nothing, brother.
The COVID's getting to people. The Profits won. I was surprised. Non-title match, booking 101 from Vince. The challengers always beat the title holders in a non-title match, right?
Yep.
How about Montez Ford's 180 frog splash?
Then a beauty, my friend. Then a beauty.
My God, that was fucking great. I don't know what's going on. I would figure that they're going to get in the picture again somewhere, but they lost clean. So I don't know. Stephanie McMahon came on via satellite and said that Banks didn't win, but neither did Asuka. So they'll have a championship match next week on Raw to determine the winner. You can lose by pinfall, submission, disqualification, countout, or if Bayley tries to get involved. Then we got Kairi Sane against Bayley in basically what we think is Kairi Sane's swan song from the WWE. And it was a hell of a match, wasn't it, Matt?
I think it was great. I mean, I know they taped last night's Raw and next week's Raw on the same day.
So Shayna may be taking Kyrie out next week.
That's what I think. I think Shayna will end up taking out Sane like backstage or something and write her off TV next week because
she was watching that match.
WWE ain't a bunch of good guys. You know, they're not letting freaking Sane lead the company on a win over their double champion right now.
I mean, look how they booked Ambrose his last few months.
Yeah. So Sane's gonna go out on her back on Raw next week, and if she doesn't, I'll be shocked. I would legitimately be shocked.
Then Drew McIntyre came out. That's where we talk about. We already talked about with Ziggler, and they're going to do a rematch, which I'm fine with a rematch on Raw next week. I thought it was at SummerSlam, which again I was kind of fine with because at this point I don't want Drew to lose the title, and I don't want Orton to lose a match. But I guess Orton still would be fine if he loses, right? It's not really going to hurt him as much because he could still continue doing the Legend Killer shit and does not need a title, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Orton needs. Orton at this point in his career could never be champion again, and I think it would be fine.
Yeah. So he doesn't. He can. I guess he could take one loss to Drew on the second biggest pay-per-view of the year. So, and Big Show and Orton, which we all expected was going to happen. Orton wins and with a punt, and hits RKO and then punted him. So
nobody was surprised.
Yeah.
As soon as this match was announced weeks ago, we knew what the finish was.
Yeah.
It's just and nobody cared. It was shown by the ratings and nobody cared. It just wasn't a match that anybody needed or wanted to see. I'm sorry. I love Big Show as a person. I think his Netflix show is funny. But I don't need I'm good with not seeing Big Show wrestle anymore. I don't need to see it. I'm sorry. I don't care.
And this might have been that swan song too. That could have been.
Yeah, it might have been. But if it is, that's a shitty way to go out.
Yeah.
And in the COVID era, I feel like
he'll probably get one more. He'll probably get one more in front of the crowd or something.
I would prefer the dude to get to go out in front of a live audience.
I think that'll
instead of a bunch of recruits on the PC.
Yeah, that'll happen.
But have you seen this thing about Moxley talking about tomorrow's Dynamite?
No.
Listen to this. This piqued my interest, and I have to get your thoughts on this. While hyping up AEW and Dynamite, Moxley teased that a big surprise will be coming on tomorrow's episode of Dynamite that made him exceedingly happy. He said that it will be a big surprise for hardcore wrestling fans, but should be exciting for casual viewers as well. I'm not going to spoil it, Moxley preface, but I'll give you this information. Tomorrow night on Dynamite, there will be a big surprise, one that made me seen around the world. You're going to get a big surprise, and even for casual fans or first-time viewers, it will be an absolute treat to watch.
Renee Young's coming over.
What the hell do you think Moxley means by that?
Renee Young's coming over.
Will you be serious? We need a Gorilla Monsoon. Will you stop?
Will you stop?
Clip. Need it.
I need
Want it. Have to have it.
I need to.
But no, but seriously, what do you think he's talking about?
Unless it's a bunch of WWE debuts, I don't know.
Look, I feel like out of the WWE bunch, there's only like 3 people that can be showing up there in the weeks to come, and it's Ryder, it's Rusev, and it's maybe Leo Rush.
Yeah.
Like other than that, I don't see anybody else going over there. So like, man, I don't know. Maybe Moxley's really good friends with one of those 3. And he's really happy about it. I don't know. I'm very curious as to what this surprise is that we're gonna get on Dynamite now. I'm always excited about Dynamite anyway.
Yeah.
Wednesdays is my favorite day of the week. Every week when I wake up on Wednesday, I'm like, man, at least Dynamite's on tonight. That's what I always tell myself. I love Wednesday night because of AEW. So, like if there's a big surprise on there too, I'm really excited about even more excited than normal about AEW.
Yeah, we got Falls Count Anywhere, Young Bucks against Butcher and the Blade. Cody Open Challenge. Hangman Page against 5. Inner Circle against Jurassic Express. And Diamante against a debuting Ivelisse, which excites me.
Well, she was in the Casino Battle Royal, right?
I'm not sure about that.
I thought she was. I thought she was in the Casino Battle Royal. Marcher, just show me what you're using for my video image.
Oh, yeah. I asked him to put one together.
Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, my God.
Let me pull it up.
Fucking A. You guys have been seeing it the whole show, but I'm just now finding out what it says. So, son of a
bitch. There it is. I don't know if we're going to use that. I was going to ask. Oh, my green screen went out there. There we go. You saw my wrinkly green screen there for a minute.
I did.
I was going to ask him just something with your name and Twitter on it and fancy logo,
No, he had to be a smart ass instead. Vintage Cho. Son of a bitch. We're back, folks. Oh my God.
I asked him to do a fancy logo with your name and Twitter on it. We won't use that. I'll let him know we showed it on camera, though.
There you go.
And I could get, and the sound clips are not going to, we'll have to do a little meeting and see what kind of sound clips we were. I kept a running tally. Good shit, pal, Vince, which we already got. But maybe one with Moxley.
Yeah, I want the Moxley one.
Gorilla, will you stop?
Yes, absolutely.
What else? Oh, Hey Yo.
Hey Yo.
Anything else?
There's so many we could do.
Anything else off the top of your head? Oh, Too Sweet.
Too Sweet. Maybe the yes chant, maybe the no chant. I mean, there's so many different stuff that we can do. And like when you stop and you put on the spot to think about it, you can't.
Yeah.
But like throughout the week, we should be able to come up with a bunch of stuff.
I got it running. I wrote all those
get
down.
Together a really cool, board of sound effects.
Mark Cho goes, just use it.
Oh my God. Tell him to stop being a lazy bastard.
Okay. I said okay and with a laughing emoji, but I'm going to say Matt says stop being a lazy bastard. And do it. Oh, ever put and do it.
Shut up!
Definitely wearing that button out tonight.
Lazy bastard, huh?
he messaged you, huh?
Yeah, in all caps.
FyterFest. We're not going to cover it in detail, but do you enjoy FyterFest, Matt?
I did. I enjoyed FyterFest and Fight for the Fallen.
We will cover Fight for the Fallen here.
I do want to mention how important, in my opinion, Jon Moxley is to the AEW brand. Because everybody's loving to talk about ratings right now. But those 3 weeks where NXT won, there was no Jon Moxley on Dynamite.
Here's
Jon Moxley comes back last week. AEW wins the ratings again. I think I truly believe there is a connection there between Moxley and that fan base that helps AEW in this war right now. Moxley is a lot more important than some people out there right now are giving him credit for.
Oh God. Cho goes, since he's matte black, we'll put it in black instead and just had a black background. He goes, tell him fine, and then showed me that. I just told him you got the matte black sigh. Yeah, hopefully he can. Yeah.
It is what it is. It's like I said, we're back, folks. The fucking lost the big card off the rails. This is what we do.
Yeah. Some of the big matches, Cody took on Jake Hager, of course, for the TNT title. Hangman and Omega beat Best Friends. Then they beat Private Party. A great 8-man tag match with Butcher Blade and Lucha Brothers against FTR and the Bucks. That was some good shit, pal. And then Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy was tremendous for main event of FyterFest Night 2, right? I am finally seeing some of those people that were hate on Orange Cassidy, I think, finally shut up after that match.
Look, he's going to change people's minds one person at a time.
Yeah, there's still so
that's
many.
Just how it happens. Look, I wasn't happy when AEW signed him. Later, we find out Chris Jericho wasn't happy when AEW signed him. But Jericho changed his mind. I changed my mind. You know, people will change their minds, you know, if they're willing and open to change and not being fucking stubborn in their ways and digging their heels in and, you know, I'm always right even when I'm wrong type of mentality. So, yeah.
What are your thoughts on the FTW belt coming back?
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Didn't love the finish of Taz, and I didn't love the finish of Cage and Moxley, but I love the FTW title being back.
AEW's used that throw in the towel thing twice now.
Yeah, but at least on the one with MJF, it made sense.
Well, it made sense on Cage. Made sense on Cage too, because he was coming back from a torn bicep.
Logically, if you're listening to JR's reason and after the match, it logically makes sense.
Taz is saving his investment.
But I didn't like the finish.
Yeah.
I just did not like it. So,
Fight for the Fallen, Cody, Sonny Kiss had a good opening match for the TNT Open Challenge. That was good. Yeah, I thought he was gonna deck Sonny after that match, man.
Yeah, I think they're building to it. I think they're gonna keep doing it to the point where no one's expecting it and they're just used to the post match then, and then bam.
Yeah.
Like when you least expect it, that's when it's gonna happen. And everybody's going to be like, oh, my God. Because, you know, there's one thing AEW has been good about in their time that they've been on is slowly but surely telling you a story. And letting it develop and play out and rewarding you as a viewer when something finally happens.
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like this is going to be one of those things.
Yeah.
So I feel like before the end of the year, Cody will absolutely be the top heel in that company.
Yeah.
And, it's just a matter of time.
It's weird though, because when we had the era of the crowd, Cody had all of a sudden became the biggest babyface in the company. So that just tells you, because he was the biggest hated heel in ROH.
Oh yeah,
people
during that time with the Bullet Club,
throwing shit at him. The time he shaved, or not shaved. I'm thinking of a different angle, but the shit he did with Jay Lethal. people hated him. It just shows you the performer that Cody is. That he can go from that to being the biggest babyface in the company, cutting the best promos as a babyface. Not always can someone cut a good promo as a babyface and be coming off of being a good heel.
Yeah,
So,
Cody is absolutely tremendous at making you love him or hate him.
Yeah,
he has that natural ability to get that emotion out of the viewer. And he's very, very good at it.
Cho said he will. Okay, I will do a real one.
Woo!
I think I need to turn Flair up a little bit.
Woo!
Calm down, Rick.
Is that? He is pretty turned up. In real life, he is turned
I
up.
was going to say Ric Flair's always turned up.
Shut up!
Playing with my new toy. Well, not a new toy, but shit, I've had this thing forever. Finally giving it to good use, FTR, Lucha Brothers, Jesus. I mean, dream matches thrown about a lot, these days, but this almost is a legitimate dream match, don't you think, for in the tag world?
Yeah, no, I would definitely say it should have been considered a dream match. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. Not weird is not the right word, but the Lucha Brothers kind of adapted to their FTR style. They did a lot less of the aerial attacks that they normally do. And it was a lot more of a grounded match than you normally see from the Lucha Brothers. I think that's what really made it enjoyable, is because they decided to match styles with FTR.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not like it's going to be the last time we see these two teams face off of each other either.
No.
There's going to be plenty of time for seeing plenty of different styles, as things progress and move on. So
I think it was FyterFest week 2. It was an 8-man tag, wasn't it? Where Phoenix did that Canadian Destroyer outside onto the people on the outside. that
was insane. They legitimately, I think it was Nick Jackson taking that. That dude could have died.
They're
very lucky they landed the way they did, because they almost landed very badly.
Yeah.
Look, I love the high spots and the fun things, but man, I want my AEW talent to be healthy too.
Yeah.
So be careful, guys, please.
Yeah. I saw people bitching about all the high spots in the Elite versus the Jurassic Express match. It's like, come on. I think it's just WWE marks that want to hate on AEW, and that's one of their few things they can grasp onto is all the high spots.
I'm so sick of the WWE versus AEW fans at this point. It's just like enough already.
Yeah, I posted something on Twitter about wrestling's wrestling, like it all, or something like that,
Yeah, and if you don't like it, don't talk about it. Don't watch it. Don't hate watch it.
Yeah, because obviously you're watching. If you're bitching about it,
it's ridiculous.
Or it's like the people that were bitching about Orange Cassidy. It's like all you see is the joke stuff. You've never seen a legit match with him. And you never even are giving an effort to look up that stuff. And you're just AEW signed this guy that likes to do, slow kicks and blah blah blah. And well, at least a lot of those guys shut up on the Jericho match. So. Speaking of Jericho, well, before that, Butcher and Blade came out with the stolen truck of FTR's, and they were flaunting the keys, but then the Young Bucks were sneaking in behind and gave them a super kick. So FTR's got their truck back, Matt.
Better late than never.
I wonder if that's going to be an entrance when they're in the arenas now. I hope, Eddie was able to do it. JBL was able to do it. Why not?
I don't know. I want Trent's mom dropping best friends off more often.
That was fucking funny. And then the Dark Order trying to recruit her.
I love BT, man.
That wasn't a best friends bit. That was a Dark Order bit.
They're gonna kill Brandon Cutler.
Yep. Oh man. BTE. And we've been getting like long ass BTEs lately too, like half-hour shows.
Yeah. I love it. I think it's great. They're getting a lot of talent on that roster over.
Yeah.
By doing that. Dude, Brody Lee's best stuff has been on Being the Elite.
I
fucking love Brody Lee on Being the Elite.
I tweeted at John Silver yesterday, and I go, "You're gonna get those papers, man." He liked it. That the whole selling of getting papers thrown, that must be a Vince thing, throwing papers at somebody.
Maybe, I don't know, but it's funny as shit.
But selling it like you taking a super kick is even better. I love it. I loved it when he opened up his jacket and there were 2 sets of papers under his coat.
When Brody Lee flipped out the other week about not getting Hangman Page,
yeah,
I about died.
Yeah,
that was so fucking funny.
And then another funny thing, running gag lately is everybody thinking Griff Garrison is Jungle Boy. And eventually, if Colt Cabana ever leaves AEW, Kenny will kill him on BT.
Probably.
Le Champion came out and sold yet more T-shirts. Matt, he comes up with the Demo God. And
I didn't like the ratings talk at first, but when he turned it into a new nickname for himself, I couldn't hate it anymore.
Oh, and it's been selling like hotcakes. And then, as we mentioned, of course, Orange Cassidy gives him the old thumbs up, thumbs down, and orange juice goes everywhere, as you can see here.
Did you enjoy the 50 plus for 50 plus segment on BT this week?
It was fucking ridiculous.
Amazing.
Oh, that was great because obviously they're not winning in the 50 plus demo. NXT's beating them in the 50.
It's the only demo that they're not winning in.
50 plus for 50 plus. Look at these grapes. I can't wait to make an apple pie with these. Then it was even better because after all this happened, we know Jericho's replacing Taz on commentary for hour 2. So we all know that Jericho's going to have a meltdown on commentary, and it was brilliant, wasn't it?
Dude, when Excalibur asked him if he Scotch guarded his jacket, oh my God. So good.
The Elite beat the Jurassic Express after that, and Jericho continuing to complain about his $7,000 jacket being ruined. JR, I love JR. JR goes, "You smell very tropical." What are you thinking about the Nightmare Sisters? They seem to be getting along a little better now. Do you like what the dynamic we got here?
I feel like they got to do something while QT's out with the COVID.
Yeah.
So
still,
I think they're just trying to buy. I think they're trying to string the storyline along until they can get him back.
Do you like that they transitioned Allie out of Butcher and Blade?
I think she eventually ends up back with Butcher and Blade. I think she's on like a double agent mission right now. I don't feel like she's gonna be away from them forever. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like that's where this is gonna lead into a feud with the Natural Nightmares and the Butcher and the Blade.
I mean, I haven't liked a lot of things they've done with Brandy so far. I thought the Nightmare Collective would have a little bit of something with Kong, but it just didn't pan out, and a lot of people hated it a lot more than I did.
I did not like it at all. That was one of my main things I couldn't stand about AEW at that point.
Yeah. So, I didn't like this pairing at first, but, they're kind of, it's working a little better as we go along. As I had predicted, I'm obviously I wasn't the only one to predict it. A lot of people predicted it, but Vicky Guerrero is Nyla Rose's manager. I absolutely love it. That entrance music of Vicky Guerrero's is so fucking absurd. There's another.
Do we need an excuse me button?
Woo!
There's your answer. I'm adding to the list.
I feel like we need a Jericho button too, or still somebody to shut their ass or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We definitely need it. We need Jericho saying something.
I wrote down Y2J, so I'll find something.
Stupid idiot.
Definitely stupid idiot would be a good one.
You just made the list. There's plenty of different stuff we can use for him.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah, then John Moxley, Brian Cage was the main event. We already talked about that.
I really liked the match. Didn't like the finish.
Yeah.
I feel like I assumed the finish the entire time going into the match was going to be Darby's return was going to lead to Moxley picking up the win, and they waited to do Darby's return until after the match. I just feel like they could have. They could have done it. They could have done it better. That's just my opinion. I didn't like the finish.
Yeah, but then of course
I still love AEW. So
after the match, lights went out. Darby Allin shows up and nails Cage with a skateboard, and it's so good to have him back. But I love at least they did content with him while he was out, and that was some good stuff. The skateboarding. Tony Hawk was I loved all the stuff they did, at least. So they did a good job of keeping Darby fresh in people's minds, even though he's been gone.
For sure.
With some cool content. NXT, thoughts on Keith Lee being double champ?
I don't like the double champ thing through all of wrestling right now. I feel like it's the new hip thing to do. Everybody's a double champion. I feel like when the rosters are as big as they are right now, I don't feel it's necessary. I feel like the only one out there at the moment that works is Bayley, because the tag titles allow her to jump to different brands.
I hate that name.
I don't like Evil having two titles. I don't like Keith Lee having two titles. I feel like these are other championships that other people can have right now.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly hard now to either get the Intercontinental title off of Evil or to get the North American title off of Lee, because then why did the opponent beat them for the secondary title when they could have won the main title? You know what I mean?
Yeah. The easiest way to do all that is stuff that is what they did before, and just
strip them and have a tournament.
Yeah, just abdicate it.
They should.
I'm using one of Vince's favorite words, abdicate.
Yeah. Shut up! But yeah, honestly that would be the best course of action. But the fact that they didn't do it immediately makes me wonder if they're going to do it at all. Maybe that's Riggle's announcement on NXT Wednesday night. Maybe he's going to announce that he's going to put the North American title up in a tournament or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Regal has announced. The only other good way of doing it is just putting the guy in two matches. But at the same time, if he loses that first match and wins the world title match, it's like, what sense does it make? It's tricky. But what can you do? Mark chose Shelby
yeah, I see it.
The better logo. Good shit, pal.
Much better.
All right. So Keith Lee comes out after being crowned champion. Dijakovic makes his return after being out for a while. Says
he was supposed to go to Raw,
oh, that's right. I remember that rumor now.
and then I guess Heyman being removed from his position, I guess changed plans because I know Heyman wanted him for Raw.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just gonna just go back to NXT, which honestly, at the end of the day, it's probably better for him.
I don't know.
Did
Big
you
man like
see-
that, Vince. Vince loves those big men. So
Oh, did you see his tweet yesterday?
nope.
Oh my God! Okay, I'm going to read you one of the greatest tweets in pro wrestling history. He said, and I quote, "2 more days until I beat the MS Paint tattoos off of Cosplay Goldberg while Sub-Zero's grandmother watches."
Wow.
Fucking hilarious.
That's pretty damn good. We all know that ain't gonna happen.
I just threw that retweet down and lost in the Midcard.
We all know that ain't gonna happen, but that was still pretty funny.
So damn good. I saw that tweet and lost it last night.
So in the end, Keith Lee says he's going to put both titles on the line and face Dijakovic. Damian Priest and Cameron Grimes have been having a feud as of recent, and Priest gets the win there. Says he's looking forward to who wins the main event. I think Damian Priest has been doing a hell of a job. I think it's almost high time that he at least becomes a North American champion very soon. Shotzi Blackheart took on a newcomer that I've been liking. And I like what I've seen with Indy Hartwell lately, and she got a big win. She defeated Shotzi Blackheart, of course, thanks to Aaliyah and Robert Stone. The Robert Stone shit has been funny. Like him selling Shotzi running over his foot with the tank was I cracked up. I loved it.
I really think the whole Robert Stone character is WWE trying to mock Tony Khan.
Oh,
I really and truly believe it.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Santos Escobar and Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde had a little vignette. I really love this group, Matt. I just like what they're doing with these guys. I can't put my finger on what kind of faction it feels like. It feels kind of like a lucha version of Fortune from Impact. Now that we're talking about Impact again, they look at they look like they're well off, rich. They're hanging out, smoking cigars, drinking expensive. I like it.
I'm not sold on the group yet, but they've got plenty of time to change my mind.
I think Santos I'm surprised he ditched the mask, but his promos have been tremendous. Santos Escobar is a big star in the making here. We already knew how good he was in Lucha Underground as King Cuerno, and then of course south of the border as El Hijo de Fantasma. But I'm a big fan, and I'm a big fan of the group so far. Keith Lee retained his championships against Dominic Dijakovic. No surprise there. After the match,
when it was at the end of the first hour.
Yeah, and of course they get up and hug. Lights go out, and Scarlett has a bag with her. It's the broken hourglass from a couple of weeks ago. So we all know what possibly will be coming next for Keith Lee in terms of the NXT championship. Thatcher destroyed Desjardins in a squash match there. Continued to attack Desjardins after the match. Only Lorcan made the save, so it looks like we're going to get another match between those guys, which I'm not going to mind because those two guys beat the shit out of each other the first time. So those guys will have a fun, hard-hitting match. So I'm down for that. Robert Stone apologizes to Killian Dane for throwing coffee on him the week before. Said it was Shotzi's fault. Dane tells Stone that he can make it up to him by giving him a match against Dexter Lumis because Loomis likes to draw things, and apparently that pisses people off when he draws things. So then Io Shirai, Tegan Knox for the women's championship. Great main event. I thought it's clear Tegan will be a champion somewhere along the lines. Down the
sure. Just not
she's
now.
very young. I mean, she's 25 right now. It'll happen.
With a history of injuries, they need to make sure she's going to be able to hold up.
Yeah. So I'm glad they gave her this.
They strap a championship on her.
Yeah, so I'm glad they gave her that spot and had a tremendous match with Io. Yeah. And at the end, Dakota Kai gives Io the boot. So it looks like we have our next feud for the title with Dakota Kai, who I've enjoyed as a heel so far ever since her turn at War Games. So let's go to some headlines real quick. Not many to talk about, so we'll probably go through these real quick here to end the show. But Jeff Hardy's court appearance in North Carolina has been pushed back to September 28th. A lot of those cases being pushed back due to the pandemic, which is obviously not getting any better. Billy Corgan on the status of the NWA shot down rumors of the demise of the company and says we are not shutting down. Disregard any rumors to that effect. The NWA will not be for sale. All those talent that are under contract remain under contract for a reason. We're trying to find figure out a way to provide our great fans with wrestling content in a very tough environment and keep our talent safe. So yeah, basically axing those rumors. Of course, Dave Logano in the whole wave of things is no longer with the company. So production was shut down weeks ago there. So stay tuned. Yeah, NXT won in a big way last week, 788,000 to 631. Very sharp drop-off for NXT as they lost over 120,000 viewers. AEW gained 70,000 viewers. As Matt said, Moxley a big part of that. Mrs. Cannonball show dropped in week 2 down to 592,000. Where it was at 770 on their USA debut. 2.7 million people watched it on NBC, though, which is weird how so many people watched it on NBC, but then didn't go over to USA. Friday Night SmackDown stayed relatively even, just a hair under 1.9 million. And Raw, coming off of the worst rating ever at 1.56 million, followed it up with a barely higher 1.628. So Raw definitely not getting an audience. Have you watched anything on The Rock's Young Rock show coming out here, Matt? Have you seen any of the promos or anything?
No, nothing yet.
I wonder how they did a promo. The first promo debuted. It's going to be airing on NBC. Obviously, he has a relationship with them with the Titan Games. So yeah, I'm curious to see.
It'll end up being something like Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah.
Or Young Sheldon or something along those lines.
Yeah. It's an 11-episode season, so it's going to be a mid-season replacement, so it won't be on the fall. It's going to be in probably January or something. Ring of Honor is going to pay tribute to Hana Kimura and feature some matches, including Hana's Ring of Honor debut against Sumi Sakai and a few other matches as well. That'll be on Ring of Honor TV. WWE Network News is reporting that ECW Super Shows will be coming to the WWE Network coming July 20th, which is actually was yesterday. I heard that these are edited heavily because of licensing, music and such. So a lot of music is going to be changed from those things. I've already seen reports of that. What can you do, Matt, right? In terms of stuff like that. Yeah. No Way Jose has revealed a new look and a new name, Levy Valenes, and he used the hashtag The Narrative. Is he gonna join ECW here or ECW EC3?
I don't know.
Kind of curious that he's using a narrative. The video shows him burning an old picture of himself, and then showing the new look of No Way. Impact is probably the best place for him to go, I would say.
Maybe.
We already talked about the Gallows and Anderson podcast there. What'd you think of Matt Cardona's video that he put out the other day?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't mute the video I was playing there.
Yeah, I thought it was awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing him pop up. But like I said, I assume it'll be AEW. So
yeah,
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm sharing all my computer audio. So yeah, that's what you heard there with when I started playing the. How about that new internet title, man? That's pretty badass looking.
Yeah, it's great.
A hashtag Naomi deserves better was trending on Twitter. I think after getting defeated pretty handily to Lacey Evans, who's recently turned heel again.
Yeah, for no reason.
Yeah. Eddie Edwards, after winning his second world title, put on Twitter, "Wow, I'm humbled by the overwhelming support tonight. I can't express the feelings. Thank you all. This is a new day." Yes, it is. "I am proud to represent the men and women in our locker room. I will do my best. Thank you. Let's keep it rolling." Lance Storm announced that he has been released from the WWE. Said he's been unemployed for the first time since he left Smoky Mountain Wrestling in 1994. That could be another clip we could have. I could be serious for a moment. How about did you see the Twitter battle between Chris Jericho and Skid Row's Sebastian Bach?
I saw a little bit of it, but I don't really know anything about it.
Yeah, that was quite funny. Sebastian is accusing Jericho of lip syncing or faking his audio or video, singing, but something to that lines. John Oliver was amongst many, or John Cena was amongst many celebrities that talked about conspiracy theories on John Oliver's great show last week tonight, talking about all the COVID conspiracy theories and all that bullshit. So it was pretty cool to see Cena on there giving the FU to conspiracy theories. FS1 had wrestling on this week for Tuesday night, but it's going to be bumped for Major League Baseball as Major League Baseball makes a return. So next week there will be no WWE programming on FS1. Of course, they got rid of Backstage while we were gone, so which sucks as well, right? You know, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Nintendo had a mini direct the other day and showcasing the very first gameplay footage of WWE 2K Battlegrounds. Matt, what did you think of that gameplay footage?
I want to refrain judgment really until I actually get a chance to play it. I get some All-Stars vibes from it, and if it plays like All-Stars, I'll be happy. But, you know, who knows how it's really going to play until we get it in our hands.
Yeah, I hope it does play. I hope it plays like All-Stars back in. That was a great game. Dasha, of course, from AEW, backstage announcer, backup ring announcer, was on the Titan Games on last night. I think she won, didn't she?
It's on my DVR. I haven't watched it yet.
I thought I saw that she moved on to the quarterfinals.
That's cool.
Drew McIntyre's Road to the WWE Championship is now available on the network. A little playlist that includes all the way back to TLC 2009, where he faced John Morrison for the Intercontinental title, some NXT matches, and then, of course, his main roster return, and all the way up to winning the title at WrestleMania. AEW Dark for tonight. You'll see Kylan King take on Diamante. The Best Friends will take on Brady Pierce and Sabby, who is Tino Sabatelli from NXT, so he's making his debut there. Scorpion Sky in action against a jobber. Hikaru Shida in action against Rishi Chanel. Avalon and Cutler taking on Butcher and Blade. Kip Sabian against Corey Hollis, who I believe wrestled in Impact for a time. NWA too, I believe. Ricky Starks in action, as well as Darby Allin for this week's Dark. And Mike Johnson had a spoiler about Mustafa Ali at Raw. And, well, that was true, wasn't it, Matt?
He knows what he's talking about.
Impact Wrestling was teasing a return of Aces and Eights, but did not happen as Bully Ray or Ken Anderson were brought in. Where do you think Bully Ray goes?
I don't have a clue. The rumor is he was going back to Impact and contract negotiations fell through. So I don't know.
I don't know. Have you watched his interview with Chris Van Vliet from a month or so ago?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw it.
He talked about having beef with a couple of people, and obviously did not give details, but it almost led to believe that's where he's going. A lot of people thought Seth Rollins or Kenny Omega. So I don't know.
I don't see him going back to WWE.
No, he did mention that they were very close to pulling the trigger on a Bully Ray run, but Vince axed it at the last minute. And
Shut up!
There's been talk on the IWPF territory about a show being done down the line, especially since Gallows and Anderson can reprise their Too Bad Chad and Sex Ferguson retro personalities. So interesting there, which they used in Southpaw as well. There's an idea of TNA spinning TNA back off in its own series and being on AXS TV. So TNA has a show and Impact having a show. What do you think about that?
That's weird to me. So I don't know.
There were rumors of Miro, aka Rusev, coming into Impact, but nothing concrete, according to Mike Johnson.
I hope he goes to AEW. I really do.
It has been announced that Ric Flair's wife has COVID-19. Rick is claiming that he has tested negative for it. But they word is that they have pulled Rick from appearances at the Performance Center, which, I mean, they should.
He should have never been there to begin with.
Yeah. So... of course, as we mentioned earlier, set for NXT tomorrow. Big announcement from William Regal, as well as Karrion Kross against Dominic Dijakovic and Killian Dane against Dexter Lumis. So we'll find out tomorrow. Mustafa Ali took to Twitter after his appearance on Raw and Raw Talk last night, and used the Raw Talk platform to discuss the civil issues and police reform. So it was pretty cool to have him, kind of speak some words from a man that you probably should listen to in regards to that. Slammiversary broke all sorts of social media records for Impact Wrestling. No surprise with all the WWE rumors. Their Instagram engagement saw a 172% increase in a single day total compared to their previous record, which was at Hard to Kill. YouTube channel saw their videos viewership rise by 26.5%, and so on and so on. So obviously the world was interested in Impact on Saturday, weren't they?
I'll bet.
Tony Khan says top independent wrestler set for TNT Open Challenge on Dynamite. So Warhorse or Cardona, basically one of those two, right?
I think it's Warhorse tomorrow and Cardona next week. It's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's my story. Let's get to do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard. Good to be back, Matt.
Yeah, good to be back, brother.
Good to have something to talk about. Amazingly, what that good was Impact Wrestling, but you know, it's good to have that to talk about again.
Shut up!
Oh, sorry, Vince. We're talking Impact. Nothing you can do about it. Thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. All you got to do is search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Wednesday. And the links to all that are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard, as well as the Twitter at LITMC Podcast. We're also on the Spotify if you like to listen to stuff through that as well. On the Twitter, you can also find us. Matt is on there at Raw Showtime. I'm on there at JB Huskers. Hopefully we get Daryl back next week. He is on the Twitter at No One Like D. And before we go right off into the sunset, Matt, what are your final thoughts?
Oh, AEW Dynamite's going to have another great week of TV, and I'm excited to see what the hell John Moxley's talking about.
Yeah.
Shut up, Vince. Piece of shit.
I figure that when you're talking good about AEW, that's a good time for Vince to jump in there, right?
What a shot.
Yeah.
Dummy! Yeah!
Yeah. I got to think it's Rusev and Ryder both show up tomorrow.
Man, I don't know if we get both. I still think Warhorse tomorrow. And I think if we're going to get anything on Ryder or Rusev tomorrow, it'll be like a video package, kind of like we got for Hawkins tonight.
What if they just show up together? You see them in the crowd or something, you know? That means they don't have to wrestle. They both could jump somebody, you know?
I guess we'll find out.
Little outsiders action, right?
No, please don't do any of that shit.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Ever since the 90 days is up, tomorrow could be a big one. For Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard. We will be back at you next week.